Thank you, Jeff, and thank you all. It was actually a pleasure to hear the previous speaker because he gave me an inspiration to write another book, Shitty Dads, because I can rely with that. And I'm here to talk to you a little about the challenge we have with diabetes, but beyond that, what is the challenge we are facing to find cures for disease now afflicting humankind? I have the privilege to work at the Diabetes Research Institute at the University of Miami, where I had a team of 150 scientists and a federation of centers around the world comprising the Diabetes Research Institute Federation that are trying to team up together to arrive to a cure for diabetes in the fastest and most efficient way possible. And this is made possible through a number of organizations supporting our work, primarily the Diabetes Research Institute Foundation, but many other supporters throughout the world. And what we are facing now is that what we see as the challenge in diabetes that, as you know, represent a problem of 360 million worldwide, going to become over 500 million in the next 2 decades. But this is also a huge business. Is in the United States alone is a 210 billion a year market. So when you go see actually the expenditures for healthcare in general in the United States, now healthcare is an overall business, if you wish, of 2.5 trillion a year, or 18% of the GDP of United States. This is projected to become 4.4 trillion by the year 2018. What does it mean? It means that if you then go to see some other data, like research and development from pharmaceutical, biotechnology industry, where the dollars are spent, well, we spent in 2008 in the United States alone $52 billion to produce on the market less than 20 new drugs that don't cure really anything. They are better treatment to prolong slightly lifespan in the presence of chronic degenerative disease condition that constitute an incredible market and returns. So I'm not saying anything against the big pharma or industry. This is not a kind of crusade against industry. Industry is doing their job. If the problem is that now what it costs to create this drug, if you have to spend more than 2 billion a year, 2 billion total, and over 10 years time span to get a new drug to market, you better have a patent for the next 20 years to try to recover the investment. So the decision-making process is made more and more on creating new band-aids on wounds that never heal, but not on preventing and really curing diseases that are now afflicting humankind. And there are, of course, a lot of exceptions also in the industry, or very committed industry and individual trying to make a change. So this is the challenge we are facing. But initially we said we just bring together scientists worldwide, we break the geographical barrier to scientific collaboration, and by doing this we'll avoid blocks and impediments to innovation and the development of cure. But now it's becoming increasingly evident that we need to take a step further, because what has diabetes in common with cancer, with MS, with neurodegenerative disease condition or cardiovascular disease condition, and all other diseases that are not curable right now? They have in common that we face in the battle, in the path to cures, we all face the same impediments and the same obstacles to innovation and the development of a cure. So is this useless that the diabetes community alone try to face the regulatory burden, the legal burden, the economic obstacle, because we share the same with the cancer community, with the Parkinson, with the spinal cord injury, multiple sclerosis, autoimmune diseases. So we're trying to team up. And for this reason, the model and the concept that was brought up by the Diabetes Research Institute Federation to speed up the search for a cure of diabetes is now assuming a new dimension with the constitution this year of the Cure Alliance. This is an organization that comprises scientists, physicians, surgeons, but also business leaders, leaders from foundations, and people from the art, music, movie business, and communication in general to help us give the message out, because we have to become aware that in the next 5 years, you or someone you love, me or someone I love, will be possibly diagnosed with a now incurable disease. And the only chance to have a cure then depends on what will happen between now and then. So the Cure Alliance is not another organization to raise funding, is not competing with disease organizations. So we want to continue, like if you want to cure diabetes, you support the DRI Foundation or other organizations supporting diabetes research. If you want to cure cancer, you go to cancer. But what we want to bring together on a voluntary basis is that just a huge campaign to create awareness, and that's why we need all your help. I know there are almost 280,000 people online right now, and I have friends from Georgia to Italy, from all over the world watching us now. We need your help because this is free, and just helping spreading this message and increasing the awareness of the incredible challenges we have ahead and how we have to really move the public opinion to then start taking steps that you can read more in the details in the website www.thecurealliance.org, or on the Facebook page, The Cure Alliance, or on Twitter, which is linked to that page. You can learn all the detail, but you will learn, for example, how the regulatory environment, the bureaucracy now to bring up cures is so huge and is such a formidable barrier that it makes a little difference if we double the budget for research towards cure, if we also don't address what are the blocks and what are the obstacles to then translate an idea to the patients we need to treat. So today, for a young physician scientist, is such a paralysis system, because if you go and you see a kid diagnosed with diabetes or someone affected by pancreatic cancer, and we have examples all over the place in the Cure Alliance, it's almost becoming impossible for you to treat to the best of your knowledge as a physician that patients and try to cure it. Because if you don't have FDA approval, you can get in trouble with the institution, because your academic institution or hospital cannot take the risk to be sued by $20 million if you make a mistake. And there is, of course, patient safety is paramount, is the first objective of all of our initiatives. But it's not just safety, you have to balance also what is the risk and the cost of doing nothing. Because if your performance indicators as a regulatory agency manager are only to avoid risk, the best thing to make sure you have no risk this year is to do nothing. So if no new trial is performed, you're sure you're fine. Nobody's going to sue you or criticize it. But what about on the other side of the balance, the one patient every 10 seconds that dies of diabetes in the world while these cures are delayed? I may want to invite you to go read an article that appeared in the Wall Street Journal of October 3rd, 2011. It's very important because it was written by a former Deputy Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Gottlieb, and the title was How the FDA Can Cost You Your Life. If you may want, you can also go see the live stream of the World Stem Cell Transplant Summit in 2011, when Andrew Groh, who is the former CEO of Intel Corporation, explained what are the obstacles to translation and what are all these barriers, legal, regulatory, and what changed in the FDA that now from safety is going to efficacy, long-term engraftment of cells, and all requirements to do more and more animal studies, often in models that are not really predictive of what will happen in the clinical setting. So basically, I'm just here to appeal to you to call your friends, because this is a free organization, doesn't cost anything, there is no membership fee. We are not raising funds to avoid competing with other disease-specific organizations. So the entire success of our viral campaign will be based on the message that you will be able to spread now and in the next several weeks. We have a few thousand likes on Facebook, but the friends of friends are over 1,500,000, and if we have enough support, we will go to take steps to reset the regulatory framework and to address one by one the challenges that are now impeding the development of cure for disease afflicting humankind. So I thank you all for the attention, and please help the Cure Alliance. Thank you.